Hello again, viewers, and welcome back. We had some technical issues with the live stream and the race. All in general, it just went downhill, so we had to restart. The session has been restarted as well, and I think we're going to do a manual formation lap as it currently looks. I'm going to explain that in a second. If you just hang on for a second while we're trying to figure out what is going on currently. And we also currently have a new participant in the race, who is going to be Irfan Daniel from Singapore. As it looks now, he is able to make the race as well. Yeah, I think we're going to do, as you can see, there is 101 laps of racing, which I think means that we are going to do a manual formation laps. People slot into their grid positions, and we are going to go on lap 1 as it currently looks, but it still needs to be confirmed by race control, of course. Okay, so we are currently back, and it has been confirmed we're going to have a manual formation lap, and the grid is going to be as follows. Vasilios is going to be on pole position, Dion is going to be second, Sandro in third, Cameron Weston Edwards in fourth. Then it's going to be Fons van Hoyten in fifth position. It's going to be Francis McGinn in sixth, Colin Higgins in seventh, Nick van Gelder in 8th position. As I just need to confirm that. Yes, in 8th position. And then it's going to be Irfan Daniel, who is going to start last because he didn't post a lap in qualifying, so he's going to start dead last. And we had some technical issues with the game, so something went wrong. Some drivers were kicked from the lobby, and that's why we had to restart. And since you can't force or create your own starting lineup, we're going to do a manual formation lap. So I think, I am not 100% sure on this, but I think we're going to do, yeah, as you can see here now, of course the grid order is a little bit different, but that's going to form as the drivers take manual control out of when we cross the start-finish line. So when the lights go out, the formation lap starts. The race is not going to start until lap 2. And as always, if you have questions, you can well, leave a comment in the comment section, and we will try to answer it, of course, as the race goes underway. But let's see, the drivers need to find their grid spots. Hello Nick, welcome to the stream. So there is, yes, there we have it. Vasilios has gone into pole position. Then it's Dion Stahl. Cameron, he is currently waiting for Sandro to catch up to him, so he can slot into 4th position. Nick, he needs to, I think, go to the back. Yeah, he's going to go to back of the field. And we have there, oh, whoops, sorry. There we have Irfan, the guy who's going to start in last. I think it's going to be. So what is happening here? Here we have the formation. The front 6 has already formed up. So let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be 2 and 2. They're going to go across the line. I think the grid has been formed now. And indeed it has. Going across the line on lap 2, we're going to start the race. And the official Project Cars 2 SRL Indy 500. So let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be Vasilios who's going to lead Sandro into the race. And we are underway. No, we're not. It's going to be... Sorry for that. Yes, we are underway now. And it looks like Cameron has got the start that he wanted. He's both jumped. Dion and Sandro. Sandro has had a woeful start. He's down to 5th. He's hit the wall. Oh no, what has he done there? And I think there's damage to that car right now. That's not going to be good for his chances. Francis is taking the lead currently, following Vasilios and Cameron Weston Edwards. Then it is Dion, Colin Higgins. It's going to be Funds, Sandro Dooley's, Nick van Gelder, and of course Irfan, who looks to have massive trouble. Has he hit the wall or something? And he has damage to his front wing, of course. As it looks now, he has also some suspension trouble. Looks this. Let's see. Vasilios is putting the pressure on Francis in the battle for the lead. And, well, both of them are going to want a victory here. So let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna have the draft down the back straight, going into turn 3, of course. And there is a sign of that's Irfan Daniel, who is, well, he's all over the place, I think. And I think we want to be, where's he gone? Don't know. And there's Nick is in the pits, it says. He's not... Wait, let's see. On board. Yes, he is indeed in the pits right now. He's... I don't know if he's made the stop or if he is going into the pit box. But he... I think he's made his pit stop. And here's Sandro. He is also making his way onto pit road. Same with Irfan Daniel. But we are going to jump straight back up to the front. And it's going to be Vasilios. He is taking a huge lead. What has happened here? Oh wait, he's not in a huge lead. That was my mistake there. I was looking at the wrong car. Vasilios, he has overtaken Francis, who still leads Cameron Weston Edwards and Dion Stahl. But it's a close fight between 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Here we have Neat, who is going to come out right in front of the leaders. Let's see what he does. If he makes some trouble for the leaders. Gets out of the way. But Francis has got the run on Vasilios. He's going to overtake him for the lead. That is amazing. And here comes Cameron Weston Edwards. What is he going to do now? Can he prevail? And what happened there? Oh, Dion had a near miss with Neek, I think that was. But here comes Vasilios back. He's going to come back at Francis. And Cameron is in this draft of both of them. What is he going to do now? Coming into turn 1. He is going to overtake Francis. He's going to go up into 2nd place. Who's going to have the speed advantage when we go to the back straight? It'll be interesting to see. And I think, yeah, Fons has made his way onto pit road. Irfan Daniel is still in the pits. Has a lot of damage that he needs to repair. And I could only believe that Fons also had some damage since he moved into the pits. Oh, but Francis is going to go back at Cameron Weston Edwards. This is great fighting for 2nd place. And the blue car that you see behind them, he is not for position. That is in fact Nick van Gelder, who is a lapped car at this point. It's only 6 laps into the race and they have already been lapping cars. But Higgins, he has made his way up into 4th place. And he has overtaken Dion, in fact. Oh, and he hits the wall. Does he have damage now? I think he might have. He might have some aero damage or engine damage. And it's great battling for, I think that's second place. Yes, it is. Cameron. But as you remember, the blue car, or the light blue car, he's not for position. That is, in fact, Nick, who is, well, he's getting in the way of the battle out in front. I don't think he has to move over, though. I don't know. He is there. Oh, and he gives Cameron a little bit of a touch there. I don't know if that is, well, gonna be causing damage on Cameron's car, or if it's worth, or what's happening here. Yes, Nikki is still staying with them, and that's the right thing to do. He is staying with them currently because, remember, when we're gonna have a caution, well, whatever you want to call it, he is gonna gain back some positions. And he's actually going to gain the lap that he is down, he's going to gain that one back. So, staying right here is going to be crucial for him. If he can keep himself only one lap down, that's going to be enough for him to be on lap with the other guys when we come to lap 26 instead, because, of course, we have the manual formation lap. Let's see. He's getting in the way of some drivers here. And oh, there's a big touch there for Nick. What has happened there? Francis has hit him, I think. And I think he has damaged his front. Yeah, he has indeed damaged. Oh, massive damage to Nick. He must have some suspension problems right now. Meanwhile, Vasilios out in front. He is 2 seconds clear of second place Francis McGinn currently, so he is not bothered at all what's behind him. And Cameron is putting the pressure on Francis. And here we have Sandro just touching briefly on him, and here is Fons. In case you were wondering, here we have Irfan Daniel. He's running dead last. I don't know what lap he's on because I don't have that telemetry right now. Let's see if I can get it. Timings. That's not what I wanted. Sorry. Splits. Let's see. He is 3 minutes behind, so he has to be more than one lap down, of course. But oh well. There we go. Back to the battle for second place, which is our closest battle on track right now. Is between Cameron Weston Edwards in second and Francis McGinn in third. And they're actually catching up to Vasilios. Whether he is well, you can't fuel save in these cars, I believe. So that's not the problem. You might have worn out tires, but not at this point. We're only 11 laps into the race. So let's see what's going to happen between these two. And if Vasilios is going to be caught in the middle of it at some point, it's going to be interesting to see what... And they are closing, and Nick has made his way onto pit road, of course, with the massive damage that he had. And they are catching Vasilios. It'll be interesting to see if they can pass him, because as you may know, catching a car is one thing, passing him is a whole different question. And we know that this can be tricky, especially on ovals. But they are catching him at a rapid speed here. Let's see. Cameron, he loses a little bit out of the last corner. And Francis gets the run on him, and he has the draft of Vasilios in front, but it's not going to be enough for And Cameron makes a great defensive drive here, displaying the great skill that he has in Formula 1 as well. And he will be looking to get a victory in SRL soon, because he has immense pace, but he has just not been lucky enough to exploit the other driver's mistakes and prevail to a victory so far. I think he's only got a podium so far, so he will be looking to get, well, a victory at least. And he is catching the leader. And I think he is currently the fastest driver out on track right now. He is lapping at, well, his fastest lap is a 41.818. And I'm trying to look for the closest driver, which I think might be Vasilios, who is in front of him. And his fastest lap is a 42.124. 42, sorry. But it looks like Cameron has some trouble getting past Vasilios, as Francis gets a great run on him. Cameron makes a great defensive move though. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen when the caution comes out. It's going to be here in that's going to be 10 laps. In fact, 10 laps until first caution. And that means we're 1/4 of the race covered so far. And it looks like Cameron has got his car under control coming out of the last corner. Up until this point he had some, hairy moments coming out of the corner, and he didn't really seem to have some control over it when he came out of the corner, but he seems like he has got the car controlled now, as Francis is trying to push right now. He posts a lap time that is barely slower than Cameron's time. And he goes up the inside. Oh, massive. That's good. That's a great move, actually. Cameron not able to defend from that. Let's see. Can Cameron crawl back now? It will be interesting to see. And I think that, yeah, Dion is making his way onto pit road. I don't know whether this is going to be... I think it's only going to be for tires and not fuel. The cars should be fueled up with enough fuel for the first, well, at least. No, he is in fact only getting fuel, or maybe some repairs. That's interesting from Dion, as Higgins has now overtaken him. But back to the front, Vasilios is only leading by half a second, as Cameron as well makes his way onto pit road. He needs to get the car slowed down though, otherwise he's gonna get a speeding penalty, and he doesn't want that, of course. Interesting thing is that these two, the leaders, Vasilios and second place runner currently, Francis, has not made their pit stop yet. They haven't been in the pits yet. So it'd be interesting to see how long they are gonna hold up. If they can hold the cars on track, keep the cars under control until the first caution, they have gained massive time then. But Francis can, he dives into the pit. And he gets a little bit of brush of the wall there. Is that gonna cost him some damage? Maybe not, I don't know. And it's interesting to see that a lot of drivers are only fueling currently. It'd be interesting to see whether Francis is fueling only as well, or I think he might be. Yeah, he's only fueling. Higgins is up into second. All of this has moved him up to second, and well, it'll be interesting to see whether he can keep himself running until that first caution. He is not the fastest car out on track currently, but he is in second place. That should be said. So let's see. Colin Higgins picks up and Vasilios has made his way onto pit road now. Is he also just gonna fuel up, or is he gonna be for a tire change? Let's see. No, it's only gonna be for a fuel up, or maybe some damage repairing. Yeah, I think he might have only some damage to repair, which leaves Colin Higgins in the lead right now. And Vasilios is still in second place. Francis, there he is. He goes around. I think that's third turn. Turn 3. So I think Vasilios is gonna keep second place. I'm not too sure. Higgins comes into the pits as well, so I think at this point everyone has made a pit stop. It'll be interesting to see. The caution is only... what is that? That is 5 laps away. So, a bit of a... well, it's relatively quiet right now. As the timings board cannot decide how close the drivers are to each other. Let's see. I think... is that Dion right behind Francis, or is that... yes, it is, and Dion... yep, he makes a move for third place. The last Indy 500, or should it be said, the first SRL Indy 500 winner, and the only SRL Indy 500 winner to this date, currently. He's in second place right now, of course, because of Colin Higgins' pit stop. So can he repeat what he did back on Gran Turismo 6? So it'll be interesting to see when the caution comes, what is gonna happen. And Cameron, he is following closely after Francis right now. So, bit of a sit rev right now. Dion Stahl is occupying the second position as Cameron, he is hunting down Francis McGinn. Oh, and he spins it! Oh no! Oh dear. Cameron Weston Edwards lost control out of the second turn, I think that... no, that was the first turn. He lost control. And he might... well, he has to have damage right now. That promotes Sandro into 4th position. And as always, the light blue car is not 4th position. That is a lap car in the form of Nick van Gelder. And Dion, well, that's not for position either. As you know, that is... oh, who was that? Oh, that was Vasilios! He has spun it! He nearly went into the pits. What has happened there? Vasilios. And he is... well, he is making his way. Oh dear. That leaves... well, Francis... what? Oh, Francis is overtaking Dion during the... well, what should we call it? The mess of Vasilios, who spun out of the 3rd turn, I think that was. I think Dion had to slow down in order not to hit the Greek. And that has promoted Francis into, well, 1st place right now. Dion in 2nd, Sandro in 3rd, there he is. Racing with Nick van Gelder, who is dead last at this moment. So, Francis is gonna lead the pack into the first caution, as it looks now, unless he spins it before the start-finish straight. He is gonna lead them into the first caution as he laps Higgins, I think that was. And there we go. I think the caution is gonna come out now. Well, it'll be interesting to see what is happening now. Yep. As we can see, Francis is dropping in speed right now. And that means we're gonna have our first caution as the drivers behind pick up the pieces. And remember, drivers have to stay in the position behind the car on track right now. So that means absolutely no overtaking. And I am not sure what Irfan did there was legal, but I could be mistaken. Maybe he got out in front of Francis. That means lap cars are going to be in the pack. But I think it was on 3rd lap of this caution. It's going to be a 4-lap caution. And the first lap is all about just catching up. The pack needs to be bunched up. Lap 2, the pits are going to be open. for repairs, refueling, whatever you want to do in the pits. Lap 3 is gonna be when the lap cars can get one lap back. So it'll be interesting to see what is gonna happen. Here we go. Second lap. Pits are open now. I think Nick has made his way onto pit. Yes, he has. He is running dead last. So the first caution is underway right now. We're 2 laps into the caution, or on the second lap of the caution. Pits are open when they come around to the pit straight now. People might dive or may not dive into the pits, since we saw pit stops fairly close to the caution. So it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen when they come around. Who is going to dive in and who is going to continue with the fuel and tires they currently have. And there we see, is that, I think that's Colin Higgins, maybe not, it was. He is not caught up to the pack yet. Oh! And Irfan Daniel spins it during the caution. What happened there? Oh dear, the Singaporean has spun it during a caution, and he has massive suspension damage, I can tell you that much. And Nick, well, I think he's gonna get a position back on Irfan when... And everyone dives into the pits right now, except for, is that Cameron, who continues? I think it is. Cameron and Vasilios are continuing, but are they 1 lap down? That's the question. I think they might be, yes. I'm trying to figure that out. I really don't know. Or maybe the timing I just messed up, I don't know. We'll see when they come around. But everyone has been into the pits, fresh tires, fueled up, and ready to go again. I think that's... well, that is half of the field, or just over the half of the field who has boxed. There. Nick, where is he in the world? Apart from that last, of course. I think Dion is still in first. I think he had 1 lap. Yeah. But we're not going again, are we? Nick spins it. Not really much to say about that. I don't know what happened. But yeah. Oh, they were 1 lap down. Okay. Cameron Weston Edwards and Vasilios Belezigios, or however you say his last name. I'm very sorry if he watches this stream back and here's me pronounce his last name. I'm very sorry, I don't know how to say it, but they were 1 lap down. That explains why they didn't take the lead. But that means currently Dion Stahl, Francis McGinn, and Funs van Hoyten are the top 3. And I am unsure if this is the restart lap. Might be. Or maybe we're doing 1 more lap, I don't know. We will see. Are they gonna gun it here? No, Dion is gonna... Excuse me. Dion is gonna make his way onto pit road. Interesting choice there. Did he have damage? That's the question. Or did he not fuel up enough? So that leaves Francis in the lead, leading Funs van Hoyten, Cameron Weston Edwards, Vasilios, Sandro, Colin, Dion, Daniel, Irfan, and Nick. So we are coming around to end the caution, and it's gonna be lights out once again. We're gonna have this 2 more times during this race. What is gonna be lap 51 and lap 76, since we had a manual formation lap which consisted of 101 laps. But Francis has control now. We're coming around. He needs to gun it between the exit of this corner and the pit wall start. If he doesn't go until then, he is free to overtake. But here we go. And there he goes. He is underway. I think Cameron got a better run than Funt. He is going to go side by side with the Dutchman into turn 1. What is going to happen here? Funt is not going to be able to hold it. Cameron is up into second currently. And I think Vasilios is... Yeah. Oh, and Funt hits the inside, or the outside wall, sorry. He is going to drop massively now. So, Francis took the start. Cameron, he made the most of it. He couldn't get the lead, but he got second place. Vasilios, after spinning and almost being last, or close to last, he is up into third again. Sandro, who has been, well, kind of in no man's land the first stint here, he is back up and running, and he could maybe see himself challenging for a lead here. But right now it's going to be Vasilios on Cameron. And does Francis get a poor exit there? And is Cameron on his tail? No. That is the answer. He is overtaken by Vasilios, who will be looking to, well, make the most of it right now and pull away from the Brit and, the Englishman and his fellow countryman Sandro Dooley's. And he's already pressurizing Francis out in the front. I tell you, if Vasilios manages to win this race, he's gonna have a massive SRL Racing League debut. He is a debutant along with Funt van Hoyten in this race, and overall in the league he's gonna be a debutant, but he's gonna have a massive time out if he is gonna win this race. As always, for the viewers who are watching, if you have any questions, as Vasilios goes side by side with Francis. But as I was saying, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I'll try to find the answer. Excuse me. As we see, Vasilios has taken the lead from Francis McGinn. So will it be the same picture we saw before the race, or before the caution, that Vasilios is just gonna pull away and leave everyone behind? That will be interesting to see. As I think Cameron is putting the pressure on Sandro right now. A great battle here, and I think Francis, he's caught the draft of Vasilios out in front, and he's gonna make a move for the lead as well. He's gonna take it back. A great move there from Francis to, well, redeem himself of what happened on the restart. Sandro, he has pulled a bit of a gap to Cameron. And behind them is Funt, who is, well, he dropped off after the restart, where I think he touched the outside wall. Colin Higgins, well, he is kind of in nowhere right now. And if you want to talk about someone who is in nowhere, you just speak to the bottom three. They are massive behind. I think, does Nick have a problem here? He is doing one... He had a problem, I think. Might be, I don't know. Let's jump to the front again, as Vasilios is going to pressurize Francis. And I think this is going to be the picture throughout this stint of the race until the next caution, which is going to be on lap 51. Vasilios and Francis, who are going to go hammer and tong on each other to try and get the lead, as Cameron, he gets a run on Sandro but not able to pass. Let's see, here he goes down on the inside, and he has made the move. Sandro down to fourth. Let's see. Vasilios still not able to, well, get the hang of Francis. He's still that mere 2.5 tenths behind him. He is pressurizing him and he is getting good runs out of each corner. But it's just not enough to break down the Scotsman. And he is close now. He is very close now to being overtaken right now. It'll be interesting to see what is going to happen. Excuse me for a moment. Still only Francis and Vasilios who is fighting for the lead. Back behind them about 4 seconds, nearly 5 seconds to some degree. We have Cameron and Sandro who's battling for third. But really in this race there is only one thing that counts. It doesn't matter about second or third or getting on the podium. This race is all about winning, and that's the only goal that drivers have when they come into this race. It's to win. Everything else is going to be useless. And we see Vasilios, he has retaken the lead from Francis right now. See Colin Higgins, he's making his way onto pit road right now. I assume that's only for fuel, might be wrong. That leaves Dion with a bit of breathing space. He has 16 seconds up to... that's the lead, it might be. So that's about 10 seconds to Funt, who is right behind Sandro, who is right behind Cameron. So right now it's all to play for, really. As I don't know if we got this, but Francis has moved in front of Vasilios again. Let's see, Sandro, what can he do? He is getting the draft off Cameron. I don't think it's gonna be enough though. And right behind them is Funt. He has, well, opened a little bit of a gap there to breathe in. Let's see. And they are absolutely right on each other's tail, right out in front. This is a great ding-dong battle for the lead. And I think we could maybe see this go until the next caution, which is, as I just recognized, is in 10 laps, as Vasilios goes down the inside of Francis to take the lead back. But I don't think Francis is planning on staying there for quite long. I think within 2 laps we're going to see him attack the Greek again and maybe push for the lead, as they catch up to a slow-moving car, or a lap car, wouldn't say it's slow-moving, and that is in form of Colin Higgins, the Irishman. We're already seeing Francis, who is pressurizing Vasilios again. It's only been 1 lap since he overtook the Scotsman, so I think this is gonna go on for quite a while. Unless one of them makes a mistake, it's just gonna be this going back and forth. As we jump to the battle for 3rd position right now. Sandro, he is... And there we have Funt. Sorry to break up from Sandro, but Funt, he has lost a bit of his front wing, and I think he has suspension damage. Let's see. Yeah, I think he has some suspension damage there. That leaves Sandro and Cameron with a bit of breathing space. There is Nick coming out of the pits. Dion moves up into 5th right now. And we see Francis, he's pulled a bit of a gap to... Well, I say a bit of a gap, it's half a second, but... Vasilios not as close as he was before. We're still seeing a fight for 3rd place, as Well, he almost tricked me there, Cameron, trying to go into the pits, but it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen here, if Sandro is going to get the drive on him, or if he's just going to stay in fourth until the caution comes out on lap 51. And Vasilios, he tries to make a move. Is he going to get it? No, he isn't. He is not going to get it yet. So a close battle for first and a close battle for third as well. So let's see. Feel free to leave comments and ask questions, as I have said a couple of times by now. As Francis and Vasilios are catching up to, that is Colin Higgins, who is currently in 6th place. He's going to be lapped in in just a short time, I think. A couple of laps he's going to be lapped. I might not wait until then, might just let them pass here. Or is he? I don't think he is. He's not going to make it easy for Francis. He has to go around the outside of the Irishman and he gets a bit of a slide there, Colin, which scares Francis a little bit. And Vasilios gets through with Francis, so he's going to gain some time on that. Meanwhile, we see Cameron. He's going to make his way onto pit road. His pit box is not ready. Oh no, what has happened there? His pit box wasn't ready. And he's going to fuel up, but that's going to cost him time, that his pit crew wasn't ready. Sandro is left with a bit of breathing space. And we have right now that is 5 laps until the caution. Oh, was that someone spinning right there? Or what was it? Just gonna run through the cars to see what happened. Don't think anyone lost it. Cameron making his way out of the pits. So the closest battle out on track right now is for the lead, and the battle we want to follow, actually, as they catch up to Neek. Let's see what's gonna happen here. He is gonna make life a little bit easier for Francis, letting him go down the inside. And what's gonna happen here? Is he gonna lift off? Well, he opens the inside for Vasilios as well. And Vasilios drives into the pits. And did he do something there? Did something go wrong there? Did he get a penalty or something? I don't think so. That means Sandro, he is up into 2nd. But he is still 10, nearly 11 seconds behind Francis, who is leading the race. So let's see. As he overtakes Fons van Heugeten, who is currently in 7th place. A bit of a sit rep right now. We're gonna take that. It is Francis who leads by 10 seconds to Sandro Dooley's. Then it's Dion Stahl rounding out the podium. Vasilios is in 4th. He is still in the pit right now. Cameron in 5th. Higgins in 6th. Van Heugten in 7th. And it's going to be Daniel in 8th. And rounding out the grid is going to be Neek. And Vasilios is making his way out of the pits right now. Of course, you have to take the long pit exit, which stretches from the pit lane all the way to the exit of turn 2. Just like real life, though, as Francis makes a pit stop now. He's in need of fuel, it looks like. Is this gonna promote Sandro? It is, but is he gonna be able? He's gone on to what is I think it's the last lap. It is the last lap before the caution. Sandro has managed to keep it together, and he's gonna be free to box when the pit lane opens. He's gonna gain from this, I think. Or might not, I don't know. If he's clever, he makes his pit stop now, coming around. I don't think the pit lane is closed before the caution starts. So he might go into the pits. And he is. He's going to play it smart here. He's going to leave Dion out in the lead when they're going, and the caution has started. Second caution is started. Sandro playing the tactical advantage here. He's going to change tires. Or not. I don't know. Well, he's just going to refuel and repair damage as it looks. So, he played it strategically. He's going to keep saying... Oh, there's someone in the wall there. That's neat. Sorry. He is bended out of turn 2. Maybe coming out of the pits, I don't know. But he definitely has suspension damage. Sandro, well, what can you say? He played the tactical advantage. He's not going to overtake Francis. But he is still going to gain time on that. Francis, as you know, well, he boxed one lap before that. So he's going to have less fuel than the Greek. Speaking about Greeks, Vasilios has managed to climb out in front of Sandro. Sandro has he had an accident in the pits, or has he just been very slow on the exit? It'll be interesting to see. But the caution is underway right now. We're going on to lap 2, which means the pit lane is open for repairs, tire change, and refueling. And the car behind Dion right now, I believe, is Cameron. It indeed is. Cameron Weston Edwards. He is, presumably he is lapped. By how many laps? I don't know. But he's definitely lapped. Here comes second place runner Francis McGinn. He's going to catch up to the back of Fons van Hoyten, who is also a lapped car. So when they come around, these two cars are going to go out of the way. And what is that Colin? Yes, that is Colin Higgins. Does he have something wrong with his car? No, he just didn't brake late enough. That's okay. If he slots back into his position, that is fine. As it looks, it's not going to be a problem. And Neig is still in the pits. Dion dives into the pits. And I think Cameron as well. No, just Dion. That leaves Francis out in front, as lap cars may now overtake and regain a lap. So we see Cameron, Fons and Higgins. They're gonna go for it. They need to catch up a lap. They still have 2 laps to go though. So, sorry, they have 1 lap left to do it in. But these guys, I think they're only doing, 100 miles an hour. And what happened there? That's Irfan, who gets a lap back. He's not really been anywhere in this race, unfortunately for the Singaporean. As you may know, he participated in the F1 Racing League in Season 2. I believe he was racing at that time, he was racing at, was it Sauber, I think? I might be wrong. But he made a name for himself there in the SRL F1 League. Of course, he couldn't race when the league moved on, unfortunately. So, but he is coming back to Formula 1 in Season 4, and he is going to be driving for Scuderia Toro Rosso. But all eyes towards the front. A Scotsman leading to a Greek into what is going to be... Is it... Are we going again? I am very unsure. We have 1 lap of caution left. As... Oh! Higgins! Oh my goodness, he has hit Fons. Oh no! Oh, that's really not good. Higgins, Colin Higgins, smashes into the back of Fons van Hoyten. That's a massive crash, as we saw Fons's car flipping upside down, doing cartwheels in the air, as we see Francis warming up his tires. But that's massive. Neig is still in the pits. What is he doing? Honestly. But we're gonna get ready for the restart. that's controversial. But that's going to promote... well, Higgins keeps position, of course. He's going to make his way onto the escape road. Because he needs to go into the pits, surely. That means cars can now overtake him. And we're going to get ready for the restart. France is leading Vasilios, who is leading Sandro. Then comes Cameron. Colin, he is still there, but he's going to go into the pits. Bookity, bookity, bookity. We go for a second time. And Vasilios, he gets a great drive. Cameron gets a great drive. Francis, he gets an awful drive. And Sandro, well, he doesn't get a drive at all. So, yeah, well, that's unfortunate for him. But Vasilios, he takes back the lead instead of Francis. Okay, so it's gonna be... Are we gonna see what happened in stint 2? We are on to stint 3. We're gonna have one more caution. It's gonna come out on lap 76. But Vasilios and Francis, are they gonna battle for the lead as we saw in stint 2? And are we gonna have Sandro and Cameron just battling out for third position? It's gonna be interesting. Right now, it looks like it's gonna stay a clean lap out in front, so we can focus on the lap. Excuse me. What I meant to say was that we can focus on the battle for third position. And it looks like Cameron might have lost a little bit of ground to Sandro, as both Dion, Colin, and Nick is still in the... He's been in the pits more than he's been out on track. Just saying, but whatever. Jumping to the front, Francis putting pressure on Vasilios. Sandro, it looks like he has regained some speed after 2 poor stints. And we are halfway, over halfway, should be said. In this race we have what is, I think it's going to be, I'm not going to do the math, I'm too lazy for that. But we have just under half distance left until the checkered flag. Now we're going to see, there goes Irfan, he makes his way onto the escape road. If he has damage or not, and there is Funds, he is still crawling around. Or has he had a, no, I think he's just crawling back to the pits. That car jumped to the front again. Vasilios versus Francis. Interesting to see if they're going to touch. It's going to promote Sandro into first position, but I don't think that's the way he wants to win it. I think he wants to win it fair and square by overtaking people. The interesting fact is that Sandro, he was quickest in the first 3 practice sessions leading up to this race. On the 4th and final practice session, which took place right before the race, we saw Vasilios putting in a great drive. He dipped into the 39 times, along with Sandro. They were fairly close matched. And right behind them was Francis, but it looks like the tables have turned right now. Vasilios, he is still second fastest, but it looks like Sandro is going to be third fastest, and Francis, he's able to compete for the win, of course. As we can see, Niki is making a pit stop. No, he isn't. That's a lie. That is Funds. Obviously, that's going to take a massive amount of time to get that car repaired. As we see the other guys barreling down the pit straight. And we have behind these guys, and in between Sandro and that is Vasilios, we have Dion, who is a lap down. Obviously. But Sandro sitting in P3, he's going to pick up the pieces if something goes wrong here between these two guys. So it'll be interesting to see. That is Nick letting the leaders pass, and is it going to be, no, he is a lap down to Dion as well. So a miserable race for Nick if we have to talk about him. He is 14 seconds behind. No, that's not true. 14 minutes. Or what is he? Yeah, 14 minutes. He is, wow, quarter of an hour behind the leader. That's interesting. He has not had the best of races today. Remember, he came into the race. He is the only one out here who has won a Triple Crown race, who could take 2 out of 3 today. It doesn't look like he is going to be able to do it today, though, since he is quarter of an hour behind the lead and the position that he needs to catch if he wants a shot at Triple Crown. And mentioning Triple Crown, we could also mention who has currently won a race in that fight. So as we mentioned at the start of the race, Dion Stahl is the only other winner of the Indy 500 in SRL. He hasn't won the Monaco Grand Prix, and he hasn't won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Then we have myself as winner as the Monaco Grand Prix. We also have Nick van Gelder, as we mentioned. He is also a winner of the Monaco Grand Prix, but he is not going to win today, so he's not going to take 2 out of 3. And then we have Jesper Lampeden, who isn't present today. We don't know if he's going to compete in the IndyCar, in the Indy 500 in the future, or maybe the 24 Hours of Le Mans. But he is the third and final winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. So to this date, there is no one that has taken 2 out of 3. And it doesn't look like it will be today either, because if we were, well, it's the last man running who has a Triple Crown victory. All the others doesn't have one. So whoever wins today, apart from me, will get a Triple Crown victory, but he still needs 2. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities to get a second Triple Crown for all drivers, and maybe even their first Triple Crown if they haven't won a Triple Crown yet at both the Monaco Grand Prix, which is going to, of course, be a part of the SRL Formula 1 League Season 4. And of course, they also have the chance to take the victory at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which is also going to be hosted on Project Cars 2 later this year, we believe. It might be at the start of 2019, we don't know for sure yet. But instead of 24 hours, we're going to have a 2.4 hours of Le Mans. So that's going to be very interesting. We believe that the race is going to take place before the F1 and the GTE championships are going to start up. And speaking about the GTE championship, of course, and watching Francis battling Vasilios, these two guys are also going to be battling in the GTE championship. If you have been onto our website, which was released a couple of weeks ago now, you will see that Francis McGinn has actually signed on a contract with BMW in the GTE championship. And currently Vasilios, who is leading right now, is piloting a Ford GTE. And if we have to speak about the others, Sandro Dooley's, he is going to be in the Corvette. Cameron Weston Edwards, we believe, is going to be in the Aston Martin. Yeah, he's going to be in the Aston Martin. And he's going to partner up with Colin Higgins and Irfan Daniel, who is also driving the Aston Martin. Then we have Dion, who is, at the moment, he is a lonely driver of the Ferrari 488 GTE. And then, of course, we have Fons van Heugden. And I made a mistake earlier, or made a mistake saying that I believe it was Cameron who was, driving as an Aston Martin driver. I made a mistake. That's not true. In fact, we have Cameron Weston Edwards, he doesn't sit in the Aston Martin, he sits in a Ford instead. That's my mistake. It's actually Fons van Hoyten who is sitting in the Aston Martin. But make sure to go check out our website. You can find all information you need about every single championship that we will have running, and you can also see driver stats, you can see, well, results, you can see what is going to be the upcoming sessions, what is going to be next, where to find us, how to get involved, everything. We still have 4 seats at the GTE Championship available on Project Cars 2. So if you fancy a drive alongside any of us, it has to be said, there is limitations. It's only the Ferrari and BMW team who has open spots currently. They have 2 spots open each. But if you want to drive any of those cars, you can sign up. Go to our website, or you can shoot us a mail at SRL League. And of course, you can get involved if you want to. You can also sign up as a commentator. We are very appreciated towards that. We currently have Fox, who unfortunately couldn't make it today because of personal issues, we believe. We don't know for sure, and we're not going to go into details, obviously. But he couldn't make it today. That's the reason why I am here. And speaking about the GTE, I'm also going to be driving the Corvette, teaming up with Nick and Sandro. And I think Nick has in fact retired when we speak about him. I think he has had enough, and I think he is gone to do something more, well, something that he believes is more worth his time than running quarter of an hour behind the race, obviously. But to the current 2 viewers who are watching the stream, I don't know who you are. If you could leave a comment so we can give you a shout out or anything. If you have questions, just write in the comment section. We are very much appreciated towards it. Leave a like, subscribe if you're interested. If you think this is fun, if you're interested, or just in general like racing, we're going to provide you with a lot of exciting racing coming up at the end of 2018 and also the whole 2019 year. But back to the racing right now. There hasn't been a change a lot. We have seen these 2, Francis and Vasilios, changing position quite a few times as I've been talking, but not really anything has changed, to be honest. They're swapping back and forth, and we're also gonna have in 3 laps, we're gonna have the 3rd and final caution of this race. Quick shout out to Noble Racing, who's in the comments section right now. You should also go subscribe to him. He is a part, well, he's not officially a part of the SRL crew, but he makes great reviews over our races. Great guy. I believe there's going to be interviews with several of the drivers currently in the talks with Cameron Weston Edwards to maybe do an interview. And but if you want to follow our news reporter, I would like to call him that. I hope he doesn't mind. But go subscribe to him. Makes great content. It's not only SRL, of course. Also it covers IRL and other leagues and other real life racing. But he's a great friend, a great member to have. So shoot him a subscribe, like his video, and leave a nice comment, whatever you want to do. Just be nice to him. And we resume racing as I believe the leaders are catching up to Irfan Daniel here, as we're gonna lap him. That's the unfortunate thing about this broadcast. We can't see how many laps the trailing drivers are behind. So they could be 1 lap down, they could be 2 laps down, they could be 5 laps down. We don't know, which is quite unfortunate. but we could make estimates that Fons van Heugden is around... We believe he is around... well, we can actually see that's a total lie, what I'm telling here. He is actually 10 laps down nearly. Well, he's 9 laps down. And the leaders makes their pit stops as we are... Who is going to lead onto the caution lap then? I think that's going to be Sandro. Yes, it is. Sandro leads onto the caution lap. Third caution, final caution. It starts now. You know the drill. So, we have Sandro out in front, it's still Francis in second, and Vasilios following closely. They are making their way out of the pits. Cameron, he is in fourth, he is a lap down, we believe. No, he's 2 laps down, that's how it is. Higgins, he is also 2 laps down, Dion 2 laps down. Then we have Irfan Daniel. He is currently... let me see, he is 7 laps down, and then of course we have Fons, who is 8 laps down, I believe. No, 9 laps. Might be, I don't know. Too lazy to do the math as usual. But we're gonna go on to the second lap of the caution. Pits are open. People can feel free to come in if they need. Doesn't look like Sandro is planning on coming in though. It'll be interesting to see what he is planning right now. Francis and Vasilios still hasn't caught up to the pack right now. But the man who was fastest in 3 out of 4 practice sessions, he is currently leading this race under caution, of course. It'll be interesting to see how his strategy is going to unfold, what is going to happen, and what will happen during his race. As we go around turn 3 and into turn 4, to start the 3rd lap of the caution, where lap cars are allowed to gain back 1 lap if they're a lap down. Of course, if they're lapped cars, they're going to be a lap down. As Sandro makes his way onto pit road, Dono and Dion follows him right now. So that's going to leave Francis and Vasilios out in front, all alone. To be honest, the closest car on track right now is Fons, who is, well, he is a couple of laps down, to say the least. He is actually 9 laps down, but he is able to get 1 lap back. It's not going to help a whole lot. The crash he had with Colin Higgins on the restart of, not the restart, the slowdown to the second caution, where I think it was Colin Higgins who smashed into the rear of Fons van Heugden. But, so he is kind of left with kind of the job to do. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. Sandro, he needs to get his car moving, otherwise he's going to be a lap down. I think... Has he gone a lap down? I think he might have. He has. He is a lap down. No, he isn't. My mistake. He isn't a lap down. Or maybe he is. No, he isn't. He is not a lap down. Official statement. So Francis leads the pack onto the 4th and final lap of caution in this race. When they come around and out of turn 4, it's gonna be a sprint race. 25 laps until the checkered flag. Who will be crowned Indy 500 SRL champion? Let's see. We're gonna follow Sandro. He needs to catch up. He can't overtake the lap cars, which is going to be a huge, huge thing for him. Or what is happening here? Camera, I think Dion has made a mistake there. Maybe he hasn't. I'm not sure. That's going to leave Sandro with clear road in front of him. Whether or not Dion, Colin, and Cameron made a mistake there, I don't know. That's going to leave Sandro with a lot less to think about, because the car behind him is not for position, and they're going to be miles behind when Francis is going to lead Vasilios and Sandro out of turn 4. So, here we go. 25 laps until the end. It's going to be the last sprint towards the Indy 500 and a spot at, or a shot at, Triple Crown. Let's see. And there they go. Vasilios, he gets a great start there. And Fun's, oh, he makes sense. Oh no. What has Fun's done there? He lost a bit of his front wing. Sandro has gone past Francis. Or can he keep it? It'll be interesting to see. He might have damage to his car. Fun's definitely has damage. Well, let's see. Sandro Dulis battling Francis McGinn for second place and a clear run at Vasilios. He's not able to make it. I think he might have damage to his car, Sandro Dulis. It'll be interesting to see. And life has just become that more miserable. Yes, Fons van Hoyten has left the race. He is retired. He had enough. The collision with the wall. And in all honesty, I think it's a little bit rash from Sandro just to force him into the wall. But on the other hand, Fons should not be trying to make a pass on Sandro. He was laps down. Trying to regain positions is not the right way to do it, especially when it's on cars that are not for position. But it looks like the collision or the slight tap with Funds has left Sandro with a bit of straight line damage, or hampered his chances, should be said. But now we currently only have 6 runners left. Colin makes his way onto pit road. It'll be interesting to see what he's planning to do, as there is a car that is glitching around in the pit lane. No idea what that is about. And of course, we didn't notice it, unfortunately. Irfan Daniel has also said goodbye. He left the race. Whether he retired or crashed out is yet to be discovered or unfolded, whatever you want to say. But, and that car there, what is happening? Wait, we're just gonna... sorry. See. Just gonna follow on board here to see how a lap of Indianapolis 500 is done by the man who is leading. And we're gonna go on board. Sorry. Trying to find the right. Let's drive in cockpit with him, as he is leading the pack. Coming out of... There's the car that's glitching around. But we're gonna take a lap with current leader Vasilios around Indianapolis motorway. And that is going to be a lap of Indianapolis motorway for you guys. Great drive from the man who has been, well, demoted to second as we jumped out of the car. Francis overtook him just at the moment where we exited the car. So that's rather interesting, to say the least. And Irfan has just explained why he retired in the comment section. He forgot to keep track of his fuel, so he ran out of fuel and had to retire because there was just no point in keep on running when, well, you have to make a lap around without any fuel. So tragic for him and very unfortunate, as Vasilios makes a move for the lead again. Sandro is just at 2.5 seconds, nearly 2.5 seconds behind. He can nearly taste victory here as he sees them battling, but he just cannot close up. He is dropping off a little bit every single lap. Looks to me as if his car has some performance damage down the back straight, because in the corners he is more than capable of keeping up with the two front runners, but down the two back straights, or the start-finish straight and back straight, he is losing time, that's for sure. So he'll be looking to repair when he comes in for what I believe to be his last pit stop at some point. We don't know when, but we're gonna follow him when he does it to see what's gonna happen. But currently, lap 86, sit rev. Vasilios leads Francis, not by a lot, but he's still leading it. Sandro in second. Cameron, he's kind of in nowhere, 16 seconds up to the lead. Dion, well, he has 51 seconds up to the lead. And Colin Higgins, he has 1 minute and 24 seconds up to the lead. And there is not going to be any more cautions in this race. We had the last caution. It ended on lap 79. Yeah, 79. And there's not going to be any more cautions. We're going until the end now. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I will try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I'll find out. If I can't find out, that's just bad luck. Francis had a look at Vasilios there. Couldn't make the move stick. When he got out of the draft, the car was hit with the clear air, and of course that's going to slow him down a lot compared to being in the draft of another car. And the car in the pit lane is still glitching out, so that's kind of interesting. Fons, he is still on pit road. He is not going to rejoin. He has left the race, of course. So that's very, very unfortunate. But it looks like on lap 89, Vasilios, he has 20... Sorry, he doesn't have 21. What am I talking about? He has currently 11 laps to go until the end of this race. He just needs to keep Francis away. And I think Sandro, well, it's been a bit of a miserable race for him. He's not really been at the front at all. So he's been very unfortunate. He was so fast in practice sessions, as Francis makes a great move, or tries to make a great move around the outside of Vasilios. I think he made it stick, and he has indeed. But is Vasilios going to come back at him? Oh, and something has gone wrong. What happened there? Francis. Oh, that's my mistake. The game was glitching. That was not a crash. I repeat, not a crash for Francis. A bit of a bug there for the game, as Francis looked as if he had crashed, but that was not a crash, in fact. Vasilios gets a drive on Francis. Is there room for a pass there? I think he makes himself the room. He can't make it stick. But he's gonna get him down the pit straight though. Will be interesting to see. We have 91 laps covered, 9 laps to go. We are running. Oh, and oh no! And Vasilios gets a tap from Francis, and he's around. He is around, and he's gonna bin it into. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What happened there? Francis's car is glitching out. We can't tell what happened there. And Vasilios has left the race, if he retired or not, purposely, or it was a mistake. But what is going to happen here? Francis's car is glitching out everywhere. Has he just taken the competition out of... crashed him out? That's interesting. So Sandro, is he gonna crawl back that lead and take victory here at the Indy 500? He has 7 laps to go to get the move done. He is dropping off though, so it'd be interesting to see what is gonna happen. He has 10 seconds to close. But does Francis indeed have some damage, or what happened? It would be interesting to hear from Vasilios himself if he is watching the stream. I don't know if he is, or is gonna be, but if he is, if he could answer the question of what happened there, what happened? Did Francis's car glitch out, or was it a dirty move from Francis, or did Vasilios just make a mistake himself? That's interesting. But the facts are, Francis is left with a huge gap to Sandro Dooley's, who is in second and his closest competitor currently. It will be interesting to see. We have 6 laps to go until the checkered flag drops. Is it going to be Sandro, or is it going to be Francis who's going to take that victory? And did he touch the wall there? He might have grazed it. I think Sandro definitely has damage. He's dropping off by around what is half a second every single lap. So, unfortunate. 5 laps to go until we are at the end. I think Sandro has a slight grace of damage right now, as he's currently 11.5 seconds behind Francis, who is in the lead. He is not determined to pit, which would be a stupid move if he did, since Cameron isn't that far away. So if he can't get the victory, I think second place is something he will be content with. And if he can keep Cameron behind him, I think that's all he could hope for, if he has damage or something else. But let's see, we have 4 laps to go, and when Francis crosses the line, 3 laps to go. And there he goes, 3 laps to go. We're gonna take on board Cockpit View from Sandro to see if he has damage. It will be interesting to see how the line of the car is actually situated and how the situation is for him. I definitely think he has damage. It'll be interesting to see, comparing him to Francis. I think Sandro has damage, indeed. Sounds like he is having to lift off into the corners. Indeed, Noble Racing. Time for Sandro to use Penske power. And is he gonna make... Is he run out of fuel? Has he run out of fuel? Oh no. Has he made a mistake and counted on his fuel? Cameron is gonna, well, take back Sandro. There he goes. Francis, he's leading. right now. But Cameron, Sandro had to pit. Is that for damage only, or was it fuel? That's interesting. He is gonna be a lap down to Francis, the leader. Which means that... Francis has nearly lapped the entire field. Cameron is the only driver who is on lap with Francis. And Dion makes his way up to 3rd place as Sandro exits the pit box. So let's see. As we come around, this is the penultimate lap for Francis and for everyone else. He's gonna cruise home on this last lap. And he's gonna get, well, a victory that counts towards Triple Crown. He's on his last lap. That's true, Noble. He used too much Penske power and he ran out of gas. Poor Sandro. But as we can see, Francis McGinn, he is making his way towards the checkered flag. He is entering turn 3 and he's gonna come out of turn 4 in just a couple of seconds for the last time of this race. He is gonna be the SRL Indy 500 2018 champion. There we go. Francis McGinn is your winner, everyone. And he's gonna take home, well, Cameron Weston Edwards, who slowed down to be lapped. So Francis managed to lap the entire field. Dion, he's just finished his race off with a pang, so that's nice. Sandro smashes his front wing as you do across the line. Colin Higgins, has he run out of gas as well? What is happening? So, Francis McGinn, Indy 500 winner. And that's interesting. That's very interesting. Race is completed. Who has not crossed the line yet? I think that is Colin who hasn't crossed the line yet. Sandro is just parked up. He doesn't have anything left to do on Indianapolis. Cameron, 2nd place, not really usable as well, so... But whatever. Francis McGinn is going to take the victory here at the Indy 500. And there are some mistakes on this one, I think. Yeah, obviously Fons van Hoyten isn't from Greece. That is a mistake. But it's going to be Francis McGinn who takes the victory. Cameron Weston Edwards comes home in 2nd, and Dion Stahl rounds out the podium. Then it's Sandro Doolis in 4th, Colin Higgins in 5th, Irfan Daniel in 6th, and of course Fons van Hoyten in 7th. And unfortunate for Vasilios, he had the race under control, it looked like. But yeah. But that has been the Indy 500. And make sure to check out the rest of our YouTube channel to see all the goods we have for you. And stay tuned. Visit our website. It's going to be in the description. The link is going to be in the description. So go check that out so you can see what is going to be up next, where to follow, and keep track of everything. But I've been Samuel Brandt, I've been your commentator, and this was the Indy 500. Peace out.